Welcome to Simple Mind Space, the podcast where we talk about mastering your money and your mind. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that might make some people uncomfortable, but it's something we all need to hear. We're talking about the subtle signs that someone might not actually like you, even if they're hiding it behind fake smiles and forced politeness. Look, we've all been there. We think we have a solid friendship or connection with someone, only to find out they were secretly hoping for our downfall. It's a brutal realization, but trust me, it's better to face the truth head-on than to live in denial. So, let's cut through the BS and talk about those red flags, those little things people do that scream, "I actually don't like you," even when they're trying to disguise it. The first sign is a big one. They constantly joke about your flaws. You know that person, the one who always seems to have a joke ready, especially if it's at your expense. They'll pick at your quirks, your mistakes, those little imperfections that make you, you. And they'll do it with a smile, saying, "Oh, come on, I'm just messing with you." At first glance, it might seem harmless, maybe even a little endearing. But let's not kid ourselves. These jokes are often more than just playful banter. They're calculated digs, cleverly disguised as humor, meant to chip away at your self-esteem bit by bit. Think back to a time when you were close to someone who always seemed to have something to say about you. How you dressed, the way you spoke, even the projects you were working on. At first, you laughed it off, right? You didn't want to seem like you couldn't take a joke. But as time went on, you started noticing a pattern. The jokes were always aimed at your perceived weaknesses, never at your strengths. That's the thing about people who consistently joke about your flaws. They're not doing it out of affection. They're testing the waters, seeing how much disrespect you'll tolerate. It's a subtle form of manipulation, a way for them to assert their dominance while keeping you in your place. They're telling you, in no uncertain terms, that they think they're better than you. And the worst part? They often get away with it because we've been conditioned to believe that if we can't take a joke, we're the ones with the problem. But let's flip that script. There's nothing wrong with standing up for yourself when a joke crosses the line. In fact, it's essential. You deserve to be around people who lift you up, not those who try to knock you down just to get a cheap laugh. True friends don't need to point out your flaws to feel better about themselves. They celebrate your strengths and support you through your weaknesses, without making you the butt of the joke. I've seen it happen time and again. People let these kinds of jokes slide because it seems easier to keep the peace in the moment. But here's the truth. Allowing someone to disrespect you, even in jest, is like letting a weed grow in your garden. It starts small, but if you don't address it, it will eventually take over. Those little digs can wear you down, making you question your worth until you're left doubting yourself, all because you didn't want to seem too sensitive. Here's what I learned the hard way. By laughing along with those hurtful jokes, I was giving them permission to continue. I was complicit in my own disrespect. It wasn't until I started pushing back, setting boundaries, that things changed. Not just in how they treated me, but in how I saw myself. I stopped letting their words define me and started owning my narrative. So here's my advice. The next time someone makes a joke at your expense, don't just laugh it off. Pause. Ask yourself, is this actually funny, or is there something more going on here? And if the answer is the latter, don't be afraid to call them out. It might be uncomfortable, it might even change the dynamic of the relationship. But your self-respect is worth far more than someone's misguided sense of humor. Life's too short to surround yourself with people who can't see your value. If their idea of friendship is constantly pointing out your flaws, then it's time to find new friends. The ones who truly care about you will never need to put you down to feel good about themselves. So stand tall, speak up, and don't let anyone reduce you to a punchline. Remember, you're not defined by the jokes people make about you, but by how you choose to respond to them. That's it for today's episode. If you resonated with these insights, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this message with your friends. Because let's face it, we could all use a little more authenticity and a lot less BS in our lives. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those wallets full.